this.
Okay. Can this be the intro?
Yeah, go on then.
Cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very exciting episode of Sandbox, the openly beta official podcast. Jamie, what episode number are we on?
200.
Oh, you heard it here first. So Jamie, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing blue.
That's good.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing purple and pink.
And
But I
this
suppose I should
is how
pretend
you
I'm wearing
start
red.
it. So,
Yeah.
today, I was drinking a drink, but so we were talking a lot before this
We
podcast.
were talking for so long pre-podcast. You finished your podcast drink.
So talking for so long, being all of 18 minutes.
So long.
Of course, those of you who are at the $1,000 a month tier on Patreon will get exclusive access to the pre-podcast chat.
Our general ramblings.
Those of you not paying that small fee to keep us going, I was drinking a hot chocolate, and I didn't want it to be a cold chocolate, so I just kept sipping it.
That's fair. That's a reasonable drink. So now are you parched? Because you have nothing left to drink.
Oh yeah, I need water in a minute. I'm probably gonna have to walk off in a sec. I am pretty parched.
I mean, you can go and do that while I talk about my drink.
No, what, to no one? No, I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you're drinking.
Do you want to hear? Should I tell you right now?
Go on then.
I'm drinking a delicious beer Moretti. Yet again. I think I had one last week or the week before.
It's the classic.
There it is. Little green man on the front. His little hat. He's sipping away. It's great. Oh, I think I've still got my chroma key on because his little green hat has got a weird little bubbly effect on if you're watching us on YouTube. It's a beer Moretti. It's a premium lager. What else needs to be said? If you want to know my full description, watch every single Sandbox until you find the one where I previously talked about beer Moretti.
So I get 12 beers, 12 exotic beers sent to me every 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of that was oh yeah, well, every week I got a new beer to talk about. Of course, quarantine happened and I went crazy and just drank 5 of them in one night. So
5 a day.
Whereas I should absolutely have a beer right now, I don't, and that's because of my pure gluttony.
Yeah.
When faced with all these delicious looking drinks.
That's definitely a sin.
I can't even nick any bottles from work because we sell they sell out almost immediately. People really want their beer now.
People are thirsty.
People are thirsty,
Yeah.
and they want their local craft ale. Apparently,
They do. You do make delicious beers.
Thanks. I did have an alcoholic drink this evening, but I couldn't wait for the podcast because I wanted it. I needed it immediately.
That's fair.
It was a new. Well, it was gonna be an invention until I googled it, and apparently it's already been invented. And I'm not surprised. It's not exactly a complicated drink.
Is it rum and coke?
No. rum and Diet Coke. No, it wasn't that.
Oh boy.
It was tequila and tonic, which is a combo which I will be having a lot now. It's really delicious.
It sounds absolutely awful, but I'll take your word for it.
You think that sounds awful?
Yeah.
What?
The worst part of any tequila-based drink is tequila, and the worst part of gin and tonic is tonic.
See, I feel like that's where we disagree because I actually, I genuinely love the taste of tequila. So,
No, in fairness, I don't mind tequila, but I feel like if I'm going to drink it, I need it to go with something that's going to sweeten the deal a bit, like a slice of lemon and salt.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from having a slice of lemon and salt with your tequila tonic. I don't think the rules are written. It's not a very popular drink.
Then I can't shot it. I guess you could just put a tiny bit of tonic in.
I mean, you yourself said you liked a little bit of a tequila sunrise once upon a.
I do like tequila sunrise, but that's got grenadine in. Maybe I should put grenadine in my tequila tonic.
Yeah, but it would be ruining a tried and tested family tradition of cocktails, and you
Is that
can't
what you
do
found when you googled the drink?
No, it's my family,
Oh, your family.
and I started it today.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
It's the old Jones family special.
um, so I want to move on now.
Do it.
So games news.
Games.
So in games news,
Yeah.
this week, Sony. I mean, okay. Sony announced the PlayStation 5 event.
Yep.
Uh,
You're about to steal my bit of news, but carry on.
ah. I mean, please go ahead then. I don't want to steal the only piece of news.
I mean, I assume it's what you're going to say. So the PlayStation 5 event was supposed to be tomorrow. We were going to see all this, footage of the PlayStation 5 for the first time. It's going to be crazy stuff. Everyone was excited. Now Sony have postponed it. They've postponed it because of the situation in America, which I feel like we don't need to explain to anyone. America's on fire at the moment. I mean, they posted their reasoning as being that should be the only news that matters at the moment, is the protest, the Black Lives Matter movement, etc. Which, fair enough, they may as well make that statement, but you know that really they're postponing it because they want more news, they want more media attention, and it's going to be completely drowned out tomorrow by everything else that's undoubtedly going to still be happening. Or today, I should say, if you're listening on Spotify, or last week if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, carry on, Jamie.
I don't actually want. I did say to my girlfriend before starting this podcast that this wouldn't get political, and it won't. I say political, and it's not. This is not a political issue. This is not a political issue. We're not talking about things. We're here to talk about games, films, and TV, right?
I mean, there's plenty of other sources for that conversation.
But I will say that in a more generic statement, it's a tricky one because like. They could just postpone it without saying anything.
Yeah.
And it would be probably inappropriate to post it tomorrow. What they were going to. So it's kind of a tricky line. Like, yeah, I feel like they kind of come across as being scummy no matter what they do.
I don't even think it would look inappropriate to post it tomorrow. I think it would just go so under the radar. I think people care about big things at the moment, regardless of what side of. I mean, people like to make it two sides.
There is no two.
Assuming there are two sides.
There's no two sides. It's not political, and I shouldn't have used that word.
No. I know what you mean.
I'm only using that word because it's just like that's what everything seems to become, and it's.
Or what people like to label things, but
really silly. Anyway,
but regardless of what side you fall, it's undoubtedly a more important thing to care about than the PlayStation 5 event. So
yeah, and it's not
people have other things to worry about.
It's coming later this month. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll get it, guys. We can wait. It's all right.
The PlayStation 5 event isn't the only thing that got postponed. Due to this current issue. Do you know what else got postponed?
I don't. The Last of Us 2 again?
No. There was a Cyberpunk event as well.
Oh, I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, it had a really cool name. It was like, I'm not going to say it because I know I'll get it wrong, but it had a cool kind of cool theme going to it. They got cancelled as well to the end of the month. That was meant to be like also tomorrow. It probably was also going to be part of the PlayStation 5
event.
That's probably partly why they did it. But
we're gonna get a lot at the end of this month.
That's
what a birthday it's gonna be for me.
Yeah.
If the Earth makes it that long. Can you believe we're nearly halfway through this year?
No. I was kind of like getting a bit excited for next year, and being like, oh, I only have to get a few more months of work, and then I'm gonna it's gonna be a great year next year. And I'm like, man, what the hell? Like, why am I even considering thinking about it being the end of the year? Like,
what happened?
Like, yeah, what happened?
Australia burned down. World War III nearly happened. Coronavirus.
I'm ready.
Something about killer bees. I think that was in America.
I'm ready for 2021.
Yeah, let's not talk about that because we'll be going on forever if we talk about 2020.
So, let's move on. So, there's more news. Nothing outrageous.
Yeah.
Pokemon, the expansion, the first expansion has been dated to be coming out on the 17th of June.
That's cool.
It looks absolutely just abysmal on every level, I think.
I guess it's not cool. Go on, run me through it.
Couldn't be more uninterested by this expansion. I think calling it expansion is being incredibly generous.
Yeah.
It's now okay. So I haven't got it because it's not out yet. And I haven't read any reviews because no one's got it, right? But
yeah,
if you watch the trailers, and they've released a few over the year, I think you'll very quickly come to the same conclusion that the expansion is really, really small.
Ooh.
And it takes place in a tiny little area. And the way they filmed the trailers makes it look as if it's bigger than it actually is.
Like optical illusions.
No, for real.
So I'm not going to be convinced to buy Pokemon anytime soon. Then
there's nothing. It's actually like. It's actually outrageous.
Did they at least announce Mudkip?
I don't think Mudkip's in it.
Then what's the point in releasing a Pokemon thing? Not even game, just any Pokemon media.
It's yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Pokemon. It's just sad. Anyway,
yeah.
I had a whole load of things lined up, and I'm sorry.
You started with the two things that made us depressed.
Yeah, well, it's not a lot of. Pardon me, it's not a lot of fun stuff in gaming. Okay, well, I can't. I've got a lot I want to talk about a certain game, and
you want to save time for that.
I really want to give you a chance to talk about something. This is technically the news section, but I made some bullet points of the things I just talked about, and I looked back. I've just been online right now just to there must be more. There really isn't. So,
is this the saddest episode of Sandbox?
Oh, actually, there is one hilarious thing that I saw. The Sega Game Gear Micro. They're just releasing the Game Gear. It's really small. But if you look at how big it is, it's really funny because it's like absurdly small. Like there's no way anyone would actually really want to use it. It's like it's horrible.
It's puny.
It's like they would have been better off.
It's 8 centimeters long. And that's the whole thing. The screen is like a third of that. The screen is like 3 centimeters wide.
They'd be better off making it into a wristwatch, honestly. Like it's actually like diabolically bad. Imagine the cramp you get.
Yeah, the screen itself is literally the size of like an Apple Watch screen. Actually, maybe smaller. I think it's
actually smaller.
It's puny.
Yeah.
Never in all my years.
Yeah.
What a world.
Oh, speaking of Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2 is being made.
Yes, I heard about this. Good news. I haven't seen the first one, but I know it's great. I can feel it in my heart. I want
going...
to see the cat on the big screen.
So like, the first one, it's really it's such a conflicted movie.
I mean, you had fun with it, right?
Yeah, but it's like they're really, there's a bunch of people who are making it who are like, who have one opinion of what it should be, and there's another bunch of people who think it should be something else. It's basically, the big suits are like, let's make a super generic kids movie, which will be kind of crap, and everyone will go to see it. We'll make loads of quick money, and it kind of gives me. There hasn't been a lot of like crappy kids movies like this for a while. I feel like there was a trend of them.
They were very 2000s. And you know what the trend specifically is?
Us being young.
No. The trend of those movies was that there is a scene where the protagonist, generic attractive man, is sitting in a car, and in the passenger seat is the CGI animal creature that he's talking to.
Yeah.
Happens in every one of those films, Jamie. Look it up. It happens in Alvin and the Chipmunks. It happens in Hop. It happens in all of them.
I've seen. It's actually pretty tragic.
And that's the trend.
It could just be that my age, being a kid in that time, but I do actually think that there were quite like an influx of kind of generic-y kids movies that had the same vibe. They were made by the same people.
Of them. I think
Sonic,
Alvin and the Chipmunks might have kicked it off.
Sonic, more than anything, is one of those movies, really. But it's very obvious that there are people who are making that movie who are like, who could see past that and no, actually, like this, we could make this sick. And there's like flashes of that. There's some like really funny, stupidly cheesy, like so cheesy. It's kind of like that's intentional. Like that is they want to get fans laughing at that.
Yeah. Sonic is so cheesy.
Yeah. And I mean, this version of Sonic isn't that cheesy. He's not cool. Yeah. He's like just a kind of like I don't know, like a 12-year-old or something, 13-year-old. Yeah. He's not cool. He's not like a cool like, I don't know,
14. Dr. Eggman.
He's not like a 14-year-old. He's not just like, hey, I'm not going to school. That kind of guy.
Yeah.
I've lost my train of thought. Oh no.
Sonic fried your brain. I mean, you're saying there are people who seem to care about it.
I'll sum this up to you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Sonic, the meme, appears in this movie. Now,
that says it all.
It's a flash. It's like a little drawing that I think like a kid drew because they saw Sonic or something, and it's like just a piece of paper that's on the side, and the camera moves past it, and you just know it's like it was snuck in there by people who are like, man, we're making a Sonic movie. There's no way, we've got to put something in here. Like,
that is pretty great. I love it. It's like the meta jokes they make in the Sonic Boom TV show.
Oh god, Sonic Boom is brilliant.
A lot of people involved in like Sonic media outside of the games are very hilariously self-aware.
The Sonic team, or it might just be Sonic the Hedgehog actually. I think it's Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter page, and the YouTube channel for Sonic the Hedgehog are are memes. As in, they are actual just meme channels.
That's so great.
It's the official. I'll look this up.
Yeah, I know. I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna get it up as well.
I'm pretty sure it's Sonic the Hedgehog, the YouTube channel, and it's like just, it's brilliant. Like they just play into it completely. Yeah, it is. Like just the first video that comes up on it is speed meme art, like Irish the Hedgehog.
This is. I'm on the Twitter. It's exactly the same. They obviously share the same content to both. And it says it right there, the official Twitter feed for news about all things Sonic. We also like memes. That's in the Twitter bio for the official Sonic page.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
just
Sonic...
memes.
Yeah,
look it up, folks.
Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom. Actually, like, get a friend. Now these people. I mean, in my experience, actually, I've got loads. I've actually got like a good handful of friends who are so into Sonic, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's common though. But if you can grab a friend who gets it, you need to watch Sonic Boom. This is for the viewers. You need to watch Sonic Boom. It's
Grab some drinks.
It's so funny, like actually funny. Like I hate the whole concept of Sonic Boom and like the whole like bandage knuckles and all that.
Yeah.
But
they play into it as
well. They
well.
actually play into it. I'm pretty sure there's a scene where they like reference the bandages and knuckles, and he's just kind of like, I don't know what he says. It's just dumb.
Oh, it's great. We are truly blessed. My voice cracked because I'm getting so emotional talking about Sonic. Oh man. So that was the news.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend that was halfway through, so we're not doing a sponsor yet.
Cool. Square Enix also donated $250,000 to Black Lives Matter. Or to Black Lives Matter related, organisations.
That is an actual non-trivial sum of money.
Yeah, while other companies are kind of just saying stuff, they're actually like putting their money where their mouth is. So that's one thing that happened.
I recognise they're a huge company, but I feel like 250k is actually still, for them, is actually like, that's not nothing.
I mean, I don't think you should have a kind of, donation shame. Any amount's good, but like 250,000 is definitely praisable. Like that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely not donation shame for sure.
No, I know what you mean.
Like,
though. Like
if you're a big company and you publicly donate $10, I mean,
it looks pretty bad.
If you're a company, it's different to if you're an individual.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. So should we go on to what we've been playing / watching?
Yeah.
Can I start because you're going to go on forever?
I'm not going to go on forever. I do want you to start though.
Right, I'll start with what I've been playing because that's minimal. So more Spider-Man.
Right. Okay. Look.
Go on.
I'm not being funny. I'm not liking your tone here. Okay. This is a nice friendly podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, carry on.
I am kind of confused by the insinuation there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to allow your confusion to continue.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I've been playing more Spider-Man, which I won't talk about, but it's still amazing. But I've talked about that a lot. It's great. Play it if you haven't. I also played Polybridge 2, which we got given the key to, nicely enough. Slam your hand on that desk, Jamie.
I want to hear about this.
It's a lot of fun. It's real great. I found myself being extremely frustrated at times because I feel like the tutorial is pretty lax in some areas. But overall, it's a lot of fun, and I feel like that's kind of unnecessary because most of the fan base is very, they've played a lot of Polybridge before, and most of it's very obvious and easy. There's just slight things. Like in my video particularly, I got really stuck on a level that introduces springs.
Yeah.
And I don't really explain how to use springs, but it kind of makes sense after some playing around. I guess you just got to play around a while. But it's a lot of fun if you like that sort of thing. It's just a nice, dumb, casual thing you can just sink some time into, play around with a whole bunch until you get it right. And then you can just try and make the most stupid, absurd bridges and see what happens. It's pretty fun.
I had the first one, and I had a lot of fun with it. Like there was something addictive about making bridges, which is surprising.
Especially with the poly aesthetic.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Yeah. It was good stuff. Do you want to go on to what you've been playing, or should I go on to what I've been watching?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to I want to get it out of my system.
Get out your system.
You know what's coming. And if you're
I know it's
if you're a regular of this podcast, you
Yeah.
also know what's coming. And this
Let
will
it out, Jamie. Let
this
it
will
out.
this will be the last time I bring up this franchise until they announce the next game. Okay.
I
So
do
let's
not believe that for a second, but carry on.
I've prepared a way of talking about this game. So I am talking about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Mm.
Okay. So I'm going to put an end. So the last podcast was titled "The Remake versus Remaster War." It was titled. Well, I can't remember now. That's very embarrassing.
It's not like you titled it.
It
or
was
anything.
titled "Ending the Remaster versus Remake War." That's what I called it.
Is this video called
This
Resurging the Remaster versus Remake 4?
it's not resurging. The last episode really should have been called "Starting the War." This is ending the war. Okay.
Actually ending the war.
So-
okay.
I've played about 15 hours or so of the game, and
Yeah.
it's 100% a remaster for sure. A remaster.
Yeah.
I thought from the trailers originally, and I hadn't played the game before, so I had no reference point. It looked like a remake. It looked really significant, and
Yeah.
that's not to say that it's not. You know, the game looks significantly better than the Wii version, right? But
Yeah.
it's basically what a remaster should be. I feel like people being me have gotten so used to seeing the word remaster and not being able
Misused.
to actually like see the difference in the actual game. Like I was like, oh, they've increased the shadow resolution a tiny bit, and that's it. It was like stupid,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
This is like what a remaster should be.
Mm.
It's the same game. They've updated the textures, and they've basically put the game into their new engine that they've now got. So it's got better lighting, all all good stuff. All their faces have been redone. I talked about that before.
Yeah.
But like, it's definitely still a Wii game. Like it's quite, in a lot of ways, it feels quite janky. The animations are pretty terrible, and the way the camera moves is a bit kind of I'm gonna say old-fashioned, kind of.
Yeah.
And if you look at the original game, again, I haven't played the original game. If you look at the original game on YouTube, it's like a really old school JRPG,
Yeah.
and in every way. And what they've done with this remake, there we go, remaster, is
There you go again.
they've made it's all in the UI. They've basically made the game so much more accessible than the original, and so yeah, the game does look better. But the main thing they've changed that's actually like properly noticeably improved the game is the UI, which is like a million times better. Like it's like modern and crisp, and like it makes sense. Whereas the old game was like archaic and blurry and really crap. And so the game would be really improved if it was just that. But yeah, so it's important. Like if you're interested in the game, I'm really enjoying it. I was a bit taken back by the visuals, to be honest, because a lot of people in like threads I read online were saying like, this looks better than Xenoblade 2. I was kind of like, yeah, I guess it does. And you play the game, it's like, no, it doesn't. But that's okay because it is a Wii game and it is a remaster. It's not a complete ground up remake or anything. Oh, they remastered the entire soundtrack as well, which is insane.
That's pretty cool.
Completely insane, completely unnecessary because I mean it's definitely better, but like man, the effort that went into just that alone is a bit much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely fun. It's really worth getting for sure. I'm really enjoying it. But just got to bear in mind that it's like still it's got the bones of a Wii game, and at times you can feel
the Wii.
You can kind of feel your Wii. The last.
Well, I didn't expect you to say anything negative about that, so that was a big surprise for old Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about the game itself because there's no point, because it's literally a classic, and it's a fantastic game. And
all you need to know is it's got Wii bones.
I'm not gonna go on and on about how great it is, because that's been done. The remaster is, as the title suggests, the definitive version of the game. Like if you're gonna play Xenoblade Chronicles, this is like by miles the best version.
Yeah.
The only issue, well, I said not the only issue, but
one issue.
But an issue, which I brought up last week, is the resolution, and it's the image looks kind of soft, I guess, if you're playing on TV, but it's like perfectly fine. It's like whatever. The game looks good. The game looks good. Sometimes great. Some of the views are really awesome. It's quite epic game. Play on handheld mode. I would say, particularly in some scenes, for me, it's borderline unplayable.
God, really?
If you're playing on a Switch Lite, I think you're
gonna struggle.
Seriously either going to struggle or you're just seriously missing out. Like it just looks. There was one area in particular where it was obviously quite intense for the Switch, and I couldn't even like see anyone's faces.
Jeez.
And like,
sounds pretty scary.
The 3DS version, obviously it wasn't the remastered version. Didn't have all the new stuff in it, but like at least it didn't go so low that you couldn't even see their faces anymore.
Yeah, jeez.
But because it's like blown up on the Switch screen, it just looks trash. And they apply this like really intense sharpening filter as well.
Yeah.
And just like it looks really bad.
Yeah,
it's like
really not
passable
sound great.
For a lunch break. And I guess if you haven't seen it docked, you may accept it, I suppose. Bit disappointing.
It sounds like an awful game. I don't think I'll ever get it.
No, don't worry, I'll lend it to you.
If you can bear to part with it.
And yeah, I don't want to have a stupidly long. That's all I have to say, because you haven't played it. One day I will make you play. I'll make you play it. I'll probably make you play Xenoblade 2. And you can tell me what you think, or you can hand it back to me very quickly, and say, Jamie, what is this anime trash? Get it out of my house.
Or I will become an absolute weeaboo immediately.
I mean,
and I'll start wearing cat ears when I come to your flat.
Most of the game, I think, like at least 20% of the screen on average is boob at any given moment. Particularly in the cutscenes.
That sounds pretty JRPG to me.
Yeah. So if you're into,
I know
if you like,
JRPGs, and I think I do.
if you like boob, if you like boob, don't get Xenoblade
Just one.
Definitive Edition. It's really hard to say. There's not much boob in it, but if
That's a shame.
if you're a big boob fan, I recommend you check out the sequel. They've got your fill for sure.
That's where they really bumped out the kinks in the game there.
Jenna Coleman is in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition as one of the main characters.
That's really cool.
She did the game before she became famous.
Oh, really?
They actually, because the original game's like 11 years old.
Man.
And they redid all the lines for all the characters for the new
So she
remaster.
got cut?
She didn't. She reprised the role.
Oh, so she was in the original as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I thought you were going to say she got cut from the original, but then they brought her back for the remaster.
No.
They just kept her for both.
They actually she actually did it. There's a lot of lines in this game. It's pretty cool.
Good job, Jenna.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
Right, it's your turn to rant at me now because I've talked about that for a while.
Right, this is going to be fun because I've been watching a hell of a lot.
Go on.
So it's going to be a bit of a lightning round. Right,
Spill your beans.
I'm going to say a short thing. So I think I told you a couple weeks ago that I've been watching a TV show called Run.
You did.
About a couple in like their early 30s who there's a woman in a marriage who's kind of sad and she's not very satisfied, and then she gets a text that says run, and she immediately goes to the New York train station that I forget, and then she meets up with her university boyfriend played by Domhnall Gleeson, and then they run away together as per like this agreement they had when they were at uni.
Wait.
And I told you it was really great and stuff. Do you remember that by any chance?
Yeah, I remember you talking to me about it, but I don't remember that plot point, which you definitely would have told me, and I forgot.
Well, that's the entire plot.
Yeah, I want to watch this a lot. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, well, it finished last week, and it was the worst ending of any TV show I've ever seen.
Yeah, you said. Yeah. Oh, no.
I don't think that's an exaggeration. Like, I was potentially more disappointed than watching the end of Game of Thrones. Maybe that's because then I just went numb. But it was a poor ending. I think it's because she's trying to set up a sequel, which I don't think they've been granted a sequel series, which is a bit sad. But even considering that, it was really bad. It was really abrupt. It was really messy. It was very unsatisfying. Some things were left completely unexplained, and plot points were brought in far too late, which were never fleshed out. It definitely lost momentum midway through after a kind of plot twist happened. Some think that in a lot of shows it would be like, wow, that's a really exciting, cool thing that happened. But in this show, it's just like, oh, it's going to become a completely different sort of show now. And it really shifted focus away from the central two characters and their relationship, which was really interesting and enough to carry the whole show. And it was also very grounded and realistic. And they were worrying about small things, like her husband was trying to call her while she's on the run with her university ex-boyfriend, and like there's parts where she's trying to call him back but they're on a train and she can't get signal, and you're spending the whole episode just stressed because she's got so many missed calls but she can't call him back, and it feels like that's a relatable thing. Like that's really frustrating and gives you that sort of really relatable anxiety, but then it tries to do something else and it doesn't work for me. And then there's no resolution or satisfaction.
I'm so intrigued. For like, I want to just know. I'm not gonna watch this show, so I kind of want to just know all the specifics. I won't lie to you.
I almost think it's worth watching just to see how bad it is. Like,
I
don't want to spoil it, because I want you to see it, but
I don't want to spend time watching a show that ends up being awful.
Yeah, that's fair. I won't spoil it now anyway. I'll maybe tell you afterwards.
Yeah,
but I want the viewers to be able to watch it and share my grief. It's obviously a lot less. You probably get that a lot less if you've now going in with the expectations that the ending's terrible. But I was really enjoying it, even after the kind of plot twist that came a bit too late that really made me a bit less interested in the show. I was still excited to see where it went.
Is the plot twist like related? to anything that
It's not really a plot twist so much as just a plot beat that happens.
Okay.
Something very surprising happens, and you're like, oh man, this changes everything. It kind of shifts the genre a bit. I can kind of give an example of that in one of the other three things that I've watched over the past weekend, which I'll quickly fire through. So I've watched many movies in the last week, and I'll tell you what they are right now.
Looking forward to it.
On Friday, I watched Knives Out. Have you seen it?
I'm going to be Googling these. Knives Out.
I wanted to watch Knives Out for a really long time. I think the reason I watched it is because Chris Evans was on the Graham Norton show, and I think maybe they mentioned it, and I love Chris Evans, and I love...
I haven't seen this.
Daniel Craig is in it. Oh, it's got an amazing cast, actually. You've got...
This looks sick.
You've got Toni Collette, you've got Jamie Lee Curtis, you've got Don Johnson, Michael Shannon. Loads of people are in it. The boy from It and the girl from 13 Reasons Why. There's a lot of people in it. It's absolutely incredible.
What?
It's worth the hype. So you know
it looks awesome.
It's really good, worth watching. You know who it's made by, Jamie?
Who?
It's made by Rian Johnson, the man who made The Last Jedi.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. I feel like this was a one for them, one for me scenario, where he made the Star Wars film so that he could then get the funding to make his own fun murder mystery film.
Yeah.
However, he had previously made Looper, so maybe that's not a fact, but still. It's hilarious because this film, it's a murder mystery. It's a love letter to Agatha Christie, basically, and it's just incredible. It feels like one of those old-timey murder mysteries, which my parents both loved because they love those sorts of films. But it's the funniest thing is obviously it's full of twists and turns, as a murder mystery is, but it's like so the opposite to The Last Jedi. It's really funny.
Wow.
Because like,
yeah.
There's actually a great video essay on this on YouTube. I can't remember who it's made by, but maybe I'll remember and we'll put a link in the description or something. But it basically, The Last Jedi was just twists for the sake of twists, subverting expectations. None of it's set up, none of it means anything. But in this, it just completely plays with the genre and completely twists your expectations on their head. But everything is set up very satisfyingly.
This looks fantastic.
It's really good. It's like you don't know where it's going to go, but then in hindsight, it's really obvious where it's going to go, which, you know, that's how a murder mystery should be done. Chris Evans is really good in it. I love his character. The main character's really, really fantastic. She's like she's like the shy... They make a joke. She's like a shy Latina maid, but there's this constant joke where the family she works for, the rich family, who, like, you know, the patriarch has died. That's what they're trying to solve. But none of them know where she's from. So in every scene, they're like, oh, yeah, it's Marta from Ecuador. It's Marta from Brazil. And he just keeps saying different places. But she's great.
They watched one of our Sandbox Christmas specials.
Yes, one of our Sandbox Christmas specials, as if there are more. But possibly the highlight of the film, amongst this amazing, vast cast of characters, is Daniel Craig, who plays the Southern drawl detective. I love his name's like Benoit Blanc or something. He's clearly like a Poirot stand-in. But he's like, he got this really strong Southern American accent. It's so like different, but it's really cool. And Daniel Craig just portrays him so expertly.
I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks sick. I'm amazed that I'm not familiar with the actress. The 13 Reasons Why person.
Hannah Baker.
Yeah, that's the one. I know that's not her real name.
Yeah.
This is like a huge step up for her acting career. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
No, she's great in it.
Chris Evans and Daniel Craig. Like, damn, that's a.
I mean, 13 Reasons Why was pretty huge in fairness. It does.
Yeah, but it got huge, but it definitely had. It wasn't guaranteed success. It had no well-known actors in particularly.
Yeah, but I mean,
no A-listers anyway.
I mean, this film was made way after 13 Reasons Why was already such a kind of iconic pop culture thing. But I think with the cast, it feels a lot like they cast people from such different things to just appeal to such a wide audience.
It does seem like that, doesn't it? Yeah.
But yet none of them feel like they were cast for the sake of it. They all really fit their role really well. Like, she's really likable in it. It's good. And the most exciting part is it's getting a sequel. Looks like it's potentially going to be a trilogy. They're all going to be self-contained stories, but they're all going to star the detective solving different cases, as any Agatha Christopher story series would be. So it's very exciting. You should definitely watch it. I'm going to very quickly move on to my next film before we run out of all time. So after that, I was like, Daniel Craig doing a South American accent. Let's watch Logan Lucky. So we watched Logan Lucky the following day. I think I first saw a review at our friend's house. Does that sound right?
Let's have a look.
It stars Channing Tatum and Adam Driver. Made by the guy who makes the Ocean's films.
I feel like I've seen this, but I also don't know.
I believe we watched it in Rob's basement. Steven Soderbergh, that's his name. So he made all the Ocean's films. He loves a heist movie. So this is it's a heist movie, but it's set in West Virginia. So it's like a redneck heist movie. And it's just a lot of fun. Adam Driver and Channing Tatum are the main two. Adam Driver's one of my favourite actors, so he's always a shoo-in for me. But Channing Tatum's also really good in this. He's the protagonist. And Daniel Craig yet again shows up as the as another Southern American character. You haven't seen this movie?
No, definitely not.
Interesting.
And
I'm sure you were there.
This is like amazing. I haven't seen this movie, and I haven't seen the movie before. They both look great. I'm really annoyed that I haven't seen either of these.
You're getting a lot of recommendations today. Watch the Daniel Craig Southern American duo films. He's great in both of them. I'm really glad he hasn't been stuck doing Bond and nothing else.
Oh, that'd be really sad. Daniel Craig is an awesome actor.
Yeah, he's very good. He's also got Sebastian Stan and Seth MacFarlane, who are really funny in it. Hilary Swank shows up for a cameo. Katie Holmes. Lots of good people. I'm going to stop naming people. There's actually a lot more people in that than I remember. Yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's also got a lot of cool twists, which I didn't see coming. It's definitely less clever than Knives Out, but that's kind of unfair because Knives Out is very clever. But it's a lot of fun. Good cast. Good acting. Cool sequences.
Cool.
And really funny at points. And my final movie, Jamie, to discuss, which we watched yesterday because it came out on DVD and streaming services for the first time. Parasite.
Oh yeah,
Jamie.
I have seen Parasite.
I know you've seen Parasite. We've discussed Parasite. I have been counting down the days to watch this movie on Amazon because I just wanted to give Bong Joon-ho more of my money.
What's your impression? Sorry, pardon me. What's your impression?
Second time, it was potentially even better than the first time.
Oh wait. Oh, you've already seen it. My bad.
Oh, I saw it already. Sorry. I've seen.
Yeah, I thought you had. I was quite surprised. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, in fairness, that probably was confusing. So I was talking about how excited I was to watch it.
Yes.
I was really excited to re-watch it.
Okay, I was gonna say, how did you miss that?
Yeah, I saw it at the cinema in a very cute little indie theatre, which was fun. Yeah, it's just incredible. I think we've talked about it on a Sandbox before. I mean, you don't need to say it. Everyone went crazy about it, but it's so good. I really hope it does kind of open up a lot more people to foreign film. because
it won't.
it won't. But it would be nice. It's a nice thought. I know a lot of people who are so put off by the idea of subtitles. It's like you can read. Like,
no.
If you're reading subtitles, it doesn't distract you from the movie. You can read fast enough that you can still watch the movie. You don't notice it. I promise you. Carry on.
No, I agree. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
But it's not for me anyway. If I'm watching a subtitle movie, I have to get into the zone. I don't notice when I get into the zone. Like, I just start watching the movie, and then I enjoy it, and I don't even think about it. But when I first start watching a movie with subtitles, like, okay, right, I got to get into the mindset of looking up and down all the time. That isn't. It's not a preferable way of watching a movie. I will have, it's not.
I never feel that though.
Well, I mean, I've watched a lot of subtitled movies. I mean, I personally don't have a problem with them. Yeah. I can see why you would. It's not.
Oh, man.
I don't think it's as intuitive as just listening.
I really don't get that.
Really?
Because I just feel like if you're watching a movie properly anyway. I mean, obviously this is gonna sound really like, I don't know, snobbish. You don't have to focus 100% on a movie all the time. You can just put a movie on in the background and play on your phone or whatever. But if you like actually really want to watch a movie, then you're going to be like glued to the screen anyway, assuming the movie's good enough to actually captivate your attention. But I mean,
I agree, but like,
I guess it's getting into the mindset of just actually watching a movie properly.
I don't think you could argue. You're telling me if, I don't know. No, I am. I don't believe you. You can't
don't
say.
Believe me.
No. You can't say that having a movie that's subtitled is 100% as easy to consume as a movie that doesn't have subtitles. I don't believe you.
I mean, maybe it's not as easy to consume, but it's unnoticeably harder if it is. Like, I just have to look at the screen while they're talking.
I'm not saying that it's not doable, but like, it's not exactly. I don't know. It requires
minimal more attention. Like you say, you don't even notice you're doing it once you start watching it.
No, but no. I don't know.
No.
I can. I don't know. I feel like it's fairly. I can absolutely see why the majority of people wouldn't see that as an appealing thing to do.
I just think you're missing out on so much films if you do that. And like, the subtitles on screen for like the length of time it takes for someone to naturally say a sentence is far slower than the length of time it takes you to read something.
Yeah, but it's we communicate with humans through speech.
Don't always.
I wouldn't talk to you. No, it's not true. When's the last time you looked at someone physically and started holding up words for them to read?
No, but I mean,
we
mainly communicate by texting each other.
Yeah, that's different. No, because you're reading text. You're not watching a movie.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're watching a subtitled movie.
No, it's not. Because it's not the same thing.
Why not?
If I said to you, I'm never going to talk to you with my mouth ever again. I'm just going to hold up cards for you to read. You would not say to me, "Oh, this is absolutely the same thing." I don't believe
you. If you were Korean and could only write in English.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. You're saying that it's the same, but I'm saying it's totally not.
I'm saying it is unnoticeably harder.
So you're saying
it is not worth missing out on.
No, that's two different things.
So many movies for it.
I do not. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It's not worth missing out movies on. If it's a subtitled movie and you can't, that's the way of watching it. You should watch that movie. If it's a good movie, and it happens to have subtitles, then that shouldn't be a barrier to watching it. I agree. I definitely, but I
mean,
don't
what
think.
are you?
I
Re-
don't think
Did I
you can.
say it was easy? Like as easy? I don't think I actually explicitly said that. I just said
I mean,
don't
I
know
can't
why
even.
people.
I can't even remember now. But I'm
I
saying.
think
can
all
see
I said
why.
was that I don't know why so many people don't watch subtitled movies because it's so easy to just read it.
Look, Jack. I don't even care about what you're saying anymore. I'm not even going to talk to you with my voice for the rest of
I'm
this
watching
podcast.
this back.
I'm just
watching
gonna
this back.
for the rest of this podcast. I'm just going to be typing to you, and you can just do a monologue to the camera, replying to me.
But I don't believe I said that. I don't think
know.
that was a thing I said.
I know. I'm only pulling a chain.
You're pulling my leg
No,
right off
No,
right
all,
here,
all I'm
Jamie.
saying, I'm making
Yeah.
the argument that
Yeah,
there is a barrier for certain people.
yeah,
They will look at wants to watch a movie. For us, it's different, right? If we see a really good movie and it happens to have subtitles,
yeah.
we like movies a lot. We're gonna watch that movie.
Yeah.
If you're like, just I don't know, you just want to watch a movie for the sake of watching a movie.
No, that is reasonable. That
a
is
lot of
reasonable.
people are gonna be like, oh, subtitles. That's more effort
Yeah,
because it requires constant reading and moving your eyes about more,
that is.
which is like consuming calories. So if you're doing that, you need to at least have a fried chicken, and then if you finish the fried chicken and you haven't got any more chicken, then you need to
Then
go into your kitchen and make some more food. That's a lot.
You'll
right?
simply perish. No, I do know what you mean, and that does. I mean, I was kind of trying to make that point by saying that, you know, it's the difference between just casually watching a movie and actually wanting to properly watch a movie.
You did say that, in fairness.
But yeah, if it's like, oh, I really want to watch a good movie, I want to watch Parasite. Nah, subtitles.
Okay.
But do that.
We are actually in complete agreement.
I also think a lot of it is the kind of cultural aspect of it, of maybe even subconsciously, I don't want to watch characters that I'm going to have more trouble of relating to, or maybe just a sort of things from this country or this area are just generally weird. Like people generally get that with like anime. Like people think all anime is weird, Japanese media is weird, which
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
fair enough, a lot of Japanese media is really weird. But I think the interesting thing about Parasite, which Bong Joon-ho has said, is that it's, I mean, even surprisingly to him, it's so relatable to everyone seemingly all over the world because everywhere has the same issues of
Yeah.
class divide. Maybe not even class divide, but some sort of, you know, hierarchical divide. And it's, yeah, like, it's set in South Korea, it's set in a country on the other side of the world with such a different history to ours. But yeah, it's so,
Yeah, but
the
like,
characters are so relatable.
but like, and yeah, it is, and that's good, and that's why I'm sure that's absolutely part of the reason why it has such global appeal.
Yeah.
But man, having differences in culture is really interesting.
Mm.
Like that's an
Yeah,
interesting
definitely.
thing. That's not. I always get. I don't know. I found some of the things. Watching foreign movies gives you a different perspective on things. Also, I find that you get a little insight into just how you know, just how people from different, not necessarily people from different countries talk, but also how like directors that you've never seen before potentially, who are from a different country, may have a really, often do have a really unique way of storytelling / filmmaking. And that's really cool to see. It's like, yeah, it's different. Different's good.
Yeah.
But you know that. But a lot.
Yeah.
I can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather. I would much rather watch a. I don't know. I have no interest in watching a generic. Just some generic Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching a generic movie that has something different about it,
Personally, I'd rather watch Transformers 4 than Parasite.
I mean, that's just the epitome, isn't it, of just Hollywood
Of schlock.
total, like, thrown up mollusk
Schlock is the word.
juice. I think you did a good job at that.
I don't even know if Transformers 4 is the worst one. I can't remember which one was which. No, Transformers 5 was the worst one.
I mean, I watched Transformers 2. That was the last one I watched.
I've seen all of them.
You've seen all of them?
Yeah, just to get angry, really.
Ew. Don't you feel a bit dirty?
I literally hate them, but every time a new one comes out, I'm like, I have to see it so I can get angry. I obviously don't pay money to see it. I wait till it's like on TV or something, which they always end up being on TV surprisingly soon.
I couldn't. I think I'd have to disown myself.
They're getting longer and longer as well. I think the last one was about 4 hours 20 minutes.
Yeah, probably because they can't even be asked to edit it anymore. They're just chucking everything they film.
My eyes vomited. The best scene in any Transformers film is the one where Mark Ruffalo tells the guy to stop dating his daughter because the guy's overage and the girl is underage, and the guy pulls out a printed copy of this law he has that says he can date his underage daughter, and it's like he has that just laminated in his pocket, and Michael Bay is like, what a badass moment for that guy to prove this dumb Michael Wahlberg dad wrong.
Can you imagine having that in your pocket? Like, so many people have said, what you're doing is wrong. That is a child, and you're like, you know what, I've had enough now. I'm gonna have a trump card ready to go.
I think that's just Michael Bay trying to justify sexualizing Megan Fox for so many years.
I
He probably had a
absolutely,
similar thing in his pocket.
I actually, definitely think that is the case. Completely, it's actually. There's no doubt that powerful directors put things, if they're corrupt anyway and crap, put things in their movies like that as a subtle little push of their own little
Maybe
weird
so.
agenda.
To sway the opinions. Right, enough paedophiles. What have you been watching?
I've started watching. Let me think. What? Did I watch a movie the other day? I feel like I did. Oh, I've watching so many, I can't remember. But I started watching a show called Noughts and Crosses as of yesterday.
Oh, I love the book series Noughts and Crosses.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it until watching the show.
We read it at school.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm.
And I'm really enjoying it. I'm only on episode 2. It's really good. It's like yeah, it's interesting. It makes me think that kind of. I know this is not at all the point of the movie, the series.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes me think like that's what the world would be like if the Nazis won the war. Like it would be this kind of like, because it's based 70 years after this war.
Wait, if the Nazis won?
Yeah, only because that's the only comparable thing that actually you could compare it to if it actually happened in real life.
I guess.
Like,
yeah.
just these guys coming along and enforcing this race policy, and then after 70 years, you can imagine that it would loosen up a bit.
I mean, it's kind of just supposed to be the real world in like the 60s or 50s.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of the
shifted.
fact that no, I know that, I get that, but the fact that it's the war they had was 70 years ago.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it's based in modern day, and it kind of gives you that.
Yeah, the book wasn't. I don't think so. I think that's where.
Okay.
I think that's why I'm thinking that. But yeah, that is. Yeah.
The only reason why, I mean, clearly I realised that what they're going for with what happened in America, but it's I don't know what it is about it. It's good. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's a very uncomfortable watch.
Yeah, I imagine. I'm very hesitant because I love the book so much, and I know there's minor changes, but I think I will watch it. I think I'll still enjoy it.
I also think that the it's just quite in some ways like a brave book, in that the sort of people who'd be reading it are like, I'm sure, balanced people anyway, but like making black people the bad guys is like, it is quite it's brave and,
I mean,
potentially like if you did that poorly, people
Yeah.
would read that book and completely misinterpret what you're going for with it.
Yeah.
So you have to be. Yeah, I reckon they have to they probably handled that.
It's very,
Very
tasteful, I
carefully.
guess. I'll just quickly explain. So the plot of the book and the show is it's basically set in an alternate reality
apologies. I didn't really go into
where
that.
white people are the what's the word? Black people are the dominant race. White people are the not dominant race. What's the word for that? Submissive race? I don't know. But white people are treated like second-class citizens. Black people aren't. Just a complete shift of segregation, everything.
Mhm.
It's that direct. Like, there's not really much else to it. It's just shifting the skin tones. But yeah, I really loved the books when I read them. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I'm sure if I reread them, I'd love them still.
And I think having it in modern day makes it obviously 100 times more relatable than if they decided to just race reverse what happened in the 50s, was it?
The series came out very relevant time. I mean, I guess it's always pretty relevant, but damn.
I know. I know. It's pretty intense. I don't actually know when it came out, in fairness. It might have
It's like
came
a couple
out,
weeks ago, right?
I don't know.
The showrunners were like rubbing their hands together when they saw all this.
Oh wow, that is so morbid. That's awful. That is
It really is.
awful.
That's the media.
But unfortunately, there's no doubt that there's going to be so many more people watching it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing.
Quick fun fact about the book. It gets crazy in depth about the backstory, like to the point where I'm pretty sure the reason that black people are the dominant ethnicity, I should say ethnicity and not race, is because like Pangea never split, so we're still on like a supercontinent.
You're what?
It's crazy. It gets really crazy, but it's always it's not like it's not a very big thing. It's just like, oh, by the way, this is why, and it's like just ancient African population were in a more like advantageous spot for trade and stuff, and then it just carries on from there basically. Like it's insane.
So that isn't canon in the show, because in the show they very clearly show a like modern looking planet at the beginning, and they show like the African empire going up and up over into the UK, which is definitely an island for sure.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if it's like now it has, or if it's just it was later on. I can't remember. I want to Google that to make sure that's right, but I'm pretty certain that is the plot.
I just want to say something real quick. A spider just descended down, and I was just looking at my my OBS feed at the time, and there's this like white dot was going down. Like, oh, what's that? Is that a speck of dust? And I'm like, oh no, it's a spider. This spider just came right down in front of the webcam view. That's really weird.
That's pretty funny. I hope we get to see that.
You will.
Yeah, so sorry, I can confirm. Imagine a world where the great landmass of the Pangea is still intact and human history has taken an entirely different route to the one we are familiar with. A world where geopolitical circumstances have resulted in African nations developing into colonial powers and Europeans becoming a marginalised and dominated people. So there we go. It was Pangea all along.
It's really interesting. I think the way they did it in the show, at least, it's just really cool. It's all African culture set in London, and it's like
how they start quite old, don't they? The two main characters.
They seem to be in like early 20s.
Oh man, yeah. See, I'd hate it just because of that. Because the book they start off as kids, and a lot of it is their kids, or at least like teenagers, and there's a lot of very interesting things based around that. So I feel like I would miss that not being in the show.
They do hint at that, like they do kind of. I feel like now knowing that knowledge, that's definitely mentioned, at least their childhood.
I mean, not that doesn't mean the show isn't good, but I feel like that is a bit of a missed opportunity, not to just start them as kids.
Depends what the ambitions of the show is. I don't know how many seasons they're going for. If there's only one, they might just be like, they might just decide to
get out of the way.
Go for
And they wrote in a new character for Stormzy.
Stormzy's in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a radio host or something, some sort of news guy.
Hasn't appeared in it for me yet. If I don't know.
Oh, fair. That might be spoilers. Yeah.
Stormzy makes me laugh.
Stormzy does.
Yeah, I just yeah, it's not really my sort of music. I say makes me laugh. It doesn't. People can have their own music taste. I don't care.
He cracks me up.
But
yeah, I actually like, unironically do like a bit of Stormzy sometimes.
that's fair.
Oh, and Johnson from Peep Show's in it.
Who?
I wouldn't expect him to play the character he plays. That's very interesting. It looks like it's got a good cast. Yeah. I might check it out.
So that's that.
We're overrunning a bit. Have we got any more to talk about?
I think we probably don't. I feel like I watched a movie the other day and I can't remember what it was, and that's really gonna eat at me.
Can't have been that good.
No, apparently not. No,
Probably had subtitles.
nothing like the Harry Potter octrology.
Oh yeah, you had a big old Harry Potter trilogy. We should give that its own sandbox.
I actually would be down for a hearty Harry Potter discussion,
That'd be cool.
but I've definitely never had that with anyone. So
Hey, my family quiz on Saturday has a Harry Potter round, so maybe I should cram
so
them all in the next 2 days.
funny.
Yeah.
Me, my girlfriend, and her sister did several calls. One of them was Harry Potter trivia. We just did it a whole night. We've been hours, with like 3 hours doing Harry Potter trivia. It was really fun.
You've been consuming a lot of Harry Potter culture.
We were really good at it. Like, obviously, we just watched the movies, but like,
Yeah,
I was
feel like you
pretty
should be at this
happy
point.
with that. I've suddenly become knowledgeable on Harry Potter.
Oh man, all it takes is watching all of them back to back in quick succession.
Well, I kind of want to. I think we should do that. I'm kind of feeling a Harry Potter make our way
Marathon.
through the movies discussion. You know,
I'd be down for that. In fairness,
would you? Because I think that'd be really fun.
let's do it now.
I don't think we can wrap it up the entire octrology in like roughly 2 minutes, but
2 or 3 minutes, yeah.
we can give it
Yeah,
a
we
go.
should probably leave it there. So that was the most controversial episode of Sandbox ever. The main debate we had was about subtitles.
That was a good. That was a funny debate.
It spanned the majority of the thing.
Yeah, there's not much news at the moment, and it's only going to get worse as we haven't actually witnessed the consequences on the gaming industry with COVID yet. Like, that's going to come next year when there's no games.
People just don't consider how gamers are going to be affected by these things.
It kind of upsets me, yeah. Like,
Gamers are the most oppressed minority.
there should be a like on the Prime Minister's cabinet, like Secretary of Video Games.
It's not even that, it's just gamer.
It just makes points like Theresa May is gamer. Like, I really don't want this job. No, but you get paid more. But I don't.
Theresa
I'm
May,
not.
gamer.
I don't play games.
She
Gamer.
starts
You're
up a
gamer.
new organisation called
Gamer.
Gamer.
So
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week's will be less generally depressing.
That was not generally depressed. I mean, there was a lot of downbeatness in that. But
They were just kind of the suggestive silences between sentences as we think about the world.
we had a bit of that. We realised that we both have the same opinions on subtitles. There was a happy conclusion to that. We both like Harry Potter. That's
We
happy.
realised that we can all come together.
Xenoblade is trash.
Don't buy it.
And we are openly beta. I love you.
We're opening Peter. I love you. Goodbye.